So last week, the Jaguars were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So 2024 season is over. The only thing left is to win games for pride and to potentially mess up your draft stock, which, by the way, the Jaguars just did after beating the Titans, moving from number 1 overall to number 5 overall. And a lot of people think that the dream is dead to get Travis Hunter. However, this video sponsor is BetUS. And right now on BetUS, Travis Hunter has the highest odds to actually get selected to the Jaguars at minus 250. Of course, the Jaguars don't need a quarterback, so that pushes that down the board a little bit. We'll see. The Jaguars have 4 games against teams with losing records, so maybe we still get him, but we'll just have to see. And with all that said, if you guys want to put some money on this, I'll probably put $20 on it just for the heck of it. Go to BetUS and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000. So right now, when you look at the NFL landscape, and honestly, the Jaguar situation is a little bit weird because we, of course, are all expecting Doug Peterson at the very least to be fired. Of course, the Jaguars have made no firings yet. I mean, you look around the NFL, you've had Robert Saleh from the Jets, you've had Dennis Allen from the Saints, and Matt Eberflus from the Bears all get fired. And the Jets have even fired GM Joe Douglas. So the Jaguars are in this mode of like just kind of weirdness. A lot of us expected after the Jaguars had their worst loss in franchise history that Doug Peterson would be gone. But he hung around. And after that, we all kind of accepted the fact that, hey, it's probably not going to happen until the regular season concludes. So we're in this mode of, oh, let's talk about head coach and GM candidates. However, we don't have any we haven't made any firings yet. So how realistic is this to actually happen? A lot of us are a little bit scared of Shad Khan because Shad Khan gives GMs and head coaches plenty of time to be able to prove their case. So I think a lot of people are expecting that Doug Peterson gets fired, but a lot of people are expecting that GM Trent Baalke will stay. I know me, I think they both go. Like, I am no, I just think that Shad Khan's a billionaire. He's going to understand that, look, both these guys need to go, and especially if he starts to go on an actual head coach hunt and he's talking to people, nobody's going to want to work with GM Trent Baalke, and there's no way his allegiance to one guy could be so strong where he sabotages his football team. But who knows? Maybe he doesn't care. I don't know. I'm along the lines of thinking that he does care. He's investing a lot of money in this team. I don't know. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm operating on the basis that he's going to be gone. So I know right now when you look at the head coaching kind of candidates out there, everybody with an opening wants Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, in case you're living under a rock, he is the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, who are 11-1, I believe, or 12-1. I forget what they are at this point. They are a fantastic football team, very, very good, and everybody wants to be like them, essentially. And they are, Ben Johnson right now, he's kind of taking his time. I mean, last year he could have easily had a head coaching gig, but he wants to finish the mission with Detroit, and also he's being very, very selective. And there was a report that came out from Albert Breer that Ben Johnson is going to be taking a different approach this cycle. He's not just going to be taking all the interviews that he can, like he's not going to be interviewing with all these different teams. He's going to go to an interview with the expectations that he's going to take the job. It's almost going to be like he is interviewing other teams, so if their franchise will be able to fit him. And he said there's basically 2 criteria that he has. One, organizational alignment, in particular between the head coach and GM. And hopefully at this point, both positions are open and Ben Johnson comes in here, then he selects his GM. That's the hope. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a little bit trickier. Recognition from the organization on what went wrong previously and their willingness to fix it. And a lot of people think that because of these 2 things that we're going to be out of it. Now, I honestly believe that this is an attractive job, honestly, because as much as we give Shad Khan grief, I think if he has the right football people in place, he's a great owner. I mean, he gives the GM and head coach all the tools they want to succeed. Urban Meyer came here demanding a state-of-the-art practice facility, and Shad Khan went out there and built it. We have a new stadium on the way, and he doesn't meddle. And you look at some of these openings. I mean, Woody Johnson from the Jets meddles like crazy. You have, a bunch of the, Bears fans hate their owner. I'm not really sure what's going on over there, but, there's a real issue over there. So I think that really it's an attractive position, and you also have a franchise quarterback, or at least I believe we have a franchise quarterback. So I don't know when it comes to Ben Johnson if he's going to look at this job and really want it. Now, maybe he's a guy that wants to chase a big market. Maybe, just because we're Jacksonville, maybe he doesn't want the job. Maybe he wants to be in a big market like New York or Chicago or Dallas, something like that. We don't know, but we'll have to see. So, yeah, the Jaguars have 4 games left, and I'm wanting to move forward. I'm wanting to just fast forward through these next 4 games. Hopefully, don't win any more games. I mean, look, I'm Team Tank. Dropping from number 1 to number 5 overall crushed me a little bit. I did think that we were going to win at least another game, and I guess it came against the Titans. But, the Jets, I think, are better than us. The Raiders is going to be really tough. I wish these games were earlier in the year so we could have, maybe been relevant for longer instead of being out of it by October again. But nothing new in the life of a Jags fan. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see how how everything plays out. But I'm hoping that everybody gets fired, and we approach Black Monday with everybody fired, and we have a new clean slate, and then we can attack. And then hopefully Shad Khan at that point can accidentally get it right, because I think a lot of us don't really have a lot of faith in him and don't really have a lot of belief in him that he is going to make the right hires. And we got to hope that ego doesn't get in his way when it comes to when he's talking to Ben Johnson saying, yeah, I messed up. Honestly, I think Shad Khan's biggest fault is that he's too loyal and he gives these guys too much time. And when you're interviewing for head coach position, does that make the head coach job unattractive if the owner takes forever to fire you? If the owner gives you too much time to get things right? I don't think so. I think it's a good spot. I really do. So we'll just have to see. He's a big fish, but I do think overall the Jaguars position would be attractive. And I think what's going to make it a lot more attractive is if we get a top pick. If we had the number 1 overall pick, because if the Jaguars mess around and win 2 or 3 more games, he might be picking 12, 13, 14. Nothing like winning meaningless games and pushing yourself back in the NFL draft, but whatever. Like I said, I'm in off-season mode. We're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. I'm on to 2025. Let's get a top draft pick. That's just my opinion. But with all that said, let me know what you guys think. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. 150% deposit bonus with the link in my bio. Drop a like on your way out, guys, and go Jags.